Thank you for joining us once
Hi.
again.
Yes, every Wednesday and Friday we have talks about social commerce, e-commerce, and social tips. And today, Sarah and I will be talking about.
We will be talking about chatbots and ways to use it. So today we'll be talking about chatbots. Today we'll be talking about the appeal of chatbots and ways to use it. Apakah yang menariknya tentang chatbot dan bagaimana cara untuk menggunakannya? Jadi kenapa kita nak bercakap tentang chatbot? Kita nak bercakap tentang chatbot sebab chatbot semakin banyak digunakan. Chatbot memang sudah lama digunakan tapi sekarang dia sudah menjadi lebih sophisticated dan sudah lebih common. Saya pasti anda mesti dah pernah menggunakan chatbot. Pernah tak anda pergi dekat Facebook and then anda message seseorang ataupun sesuatu company and then dia akan reply sangat cepat and then mungkin ada button. Ada button yang anda boleh klik dan anda klik dia akan keluarkan jawapan. So,
What is a chatbot? All right. So a chatbot is a computer program that stimulates and processes human conversation. Jadi chatbot ini bukanlah manusia, ia ialah a program and dia what do you call it? Stimulates and process human conversation. Jadi berdasarkan perkataan-perkataan yang dimasukkan, berdasarkan also if it's a voice bot, which we will go into further later, berdasarkan the cues, the program akan menjana satu jawapan yang spesifik. So a chatbot is a program. Chatbots can be as simple as answering one question, or it can be more complex by integrating AI and machine learning, and it can process the data. So let's look at how do chatbot work. Chatbots work. So they use AI, NLP, and machine learning. So let's look at these chatbots and their types. There are a few different types, and to understand that the one type that is listed here is hybrid. So hybrid is when it uses a few of these six, more than one, and so it's called a hybrid chatbot. So number one, menu-based button. Menu-based button chatbot is the most commonly used, which is the bot that comes up with buttons. So back to this, linguistic-based. Linguistic-based chatbot is based on the questions that is asked. So depending on what type of question, so for example, one question could be asked in different ways. That is called linguistic-based. The third is keyword recognition based. Keyword is based on specific words, keywords that you use. So this one uses NLP. The next one is machine learning. Machine learning is keyword recognition based. Yes, keyword recognition based. For example, you type in blogs and such. The keyword is blog, and they will come up with answers relating to the specific keyword that you asked. The next is voice bots. So voice bots is, for example, Siri and Alexa, which is really popular now. So benefits of using chatbots, depending on what industry you are in and the type of business that you are running, there are different benefits. For this session, I'm just going to share a bit on the benefits for consumers if you are a B2C company. So the main benefit is you could assist your customers during non-working hours, because when your customer is asking something, a bot would answer. Someone would answer if they're texting and visiting your website at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., which we all do, and we don't want to, and it would be a waste, it would be a missed opportunity if there wasn't a chatbot for your customer to ask immediately. For example, if you just put a contact form and says, email us for any question. And then, your customer is scrolling at 3 a.m. and he's like, oh, I have to email you. I don't want people to see me emailing at 3 a.m. Oh, I don't want to schedule the email. It's just too much. Whereas if it's a bot, they could just type in the question and the bot would answer there and then. Or if it wouldn't, it would ask for the customers for the information for you to follow up later. Then you could send.
Yep. While you're
the
buzzing,
reply.
I was actually very impressed with this. Not very impressed, but impressed enough with this server company, whose service I was actually exploring for us. And because all companies, I mean, there are so many hosting companies out there. A lot of them are US based, and when they are US based, they usually the queues to actually reply to your chats take a bit of time. You are always in queue. And I found a local one, a Malaysian one. They are actually server freaks, and I just wanted to find out about their packages. How is it? How do I transfer the existing host to their host, and things like that? Very basic questions. So I couldn't find the answers on the website in the FAQ. So I just wanted an instant answer, and there was somebody right there to answer my question. And the best part about that chatbot was that they didn't ask me what kind of help I needed. They didn't break it down into technical help or payment, financial help, or a certain segment that you fall into. And it was a very they just whatever questions that you were throwing at them, they managed to answer without much delay, just a few minutes. And it made my decision much faster. I said, okay, they could answer me immediately. That's the kind of service I would expect all out, and I signed up with them immediately. So that makes a big difference when a chatbot, whether usually there's a person behind it, of course, right? That will actually reduce the price rather when you rely on a machine to answer it and have it all automated. So yeah, when you're looking at for a chatbot, make sure that there's always somebody there to answer your question. And I think it is worth the money to spend somebody. It's worth the money to spend on having somebody answer the request online 24 hours a day if possible, or at least have more during the daytime and maybe less during the night, but there should be at least somebody there to answer. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yes. And if you're using a more sophisticated chatbot, for example, the one that uses machine learning and AI, the machine could actually process the data and actually remember it. For example, if you are using chatbot for ordering food and then you are ordering for the second time around, the chatbot could actually remember who you are and ask, oh, would you like to order the same one that you did previously? So be like, wow, they remember me.
Right. So
So
that adds to the personalization service. So you feel that they already know who you are and you feel special, right?
And of course, when you are using a chatbot, it saves cost of hiring more staff because you don't need more agents if you are using it. If you are usually answering questions for customer service, for example, then you wouldn't need to hire, more customer service agents. If you are using a chatbot, for example, for your company to do trainings in IT questions and such, and this is what you handle on a daily basis. Also, if you use a chatbot, then you wouldn't have to have, for example, an IT technician on standby because you have the chatbot. Next is it can handle multiple chats at a single time, unlike humans. So as much as I know we can juggle a few conversations at one time, I know we all do that. We talk to 5 people at the same time, but then we still can only answer them one at a time, right? Whereas chatbot, they could handle more than that at one time.
Yeah. When you're in a small startup, then you're able to handle the number of chats that are coming in. But once you grow and scale and you're, a multi-billion company, then definitely you would want to invest in something that will automate all your messages.
So this is a diagram from Chatfuel that explains 10 reasons why your business needs a chatbot. These are some of the benefits that I mentioned just now. You can turn page engagement into leads because as we mentioned, using buttons and such, you can probe further and you could find out what exactly do they want, and you could also make suggestions based on the queries that they ask on the chat box. Delight and impress users. You could also determine the style of the the answers, how they ask. You could maintain the same consistency of style and language. For example, if you're a company that's more funny, then your answers could reflect that. Reduce operational costs, as we mentioned, thousands of integrations. So chatbots, there are a lot of types of chatbots, like I mentioned just now, and depending on what you are using, for example, if you have your own website, your own e-commerce website, you can use a lot of integrations. There are integrations where you could integrate across different channels, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, SMS, Line.
Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah. Yes, across everything. So depending on how big or scale of your company is using and what are your needs, there is an integration for that. So this is an example of how chatbots are used. I have two examples. So this is in a finance and this is in a healthcare industry. So depending on the type of industry that you're in, depending on your type of business, for example, this is how chatbots are used. So for healthcare industry, you could answer health problems, recommend health-related products. You could schedule appointments, and we see this a lot. There are a lot of new healthcare apps where you could schedule a talk with a doctor on the spot, to schedule an appointment in person or just virtually. We see this a lot being used now. This is really big. Qualify these for certain treatments, check symptoms, refer to a doctor. So this way you could, pre-qualify them to see whether this patient needs assistance, physical assistance, in-person assistance or not, or they just need some guide. And this is an example of how chatbots are used in the finance industry. So customer feedback, customer clone and customize bot for multiple locations, lead generation and qualification, and yes, all this fun stuff.
Talking about health, there's this chatbot which is used for dementia patients. There was because you when you're having like Alzheimer's disease, you struggle with short-term memory loss and all that, right? So this chatbot will be able to track your communication logs, so you will identify the potential degradation of memory function and communicative obstacles that could signify the deterioration of the patient's condition. So it actually talks to the patient, and it detects, the deterioration rate and all that. So yeah, I think it's, even for insomniacs, if you're having trouble sleeping and you just want somebody to talk to, there are chatbots which will help you sleep. You just have to talk to them and make conversation, and so you won't feel so lonely at night. It can be very frustrating when you can't sleep.
I think if I started talking, then I would further not sleep because then I'd be chatting.
Perhaps, right? You're stimulated, but I don't know. Maybe it's just about knowing that somebody is out there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of marketing, you have something else you were saying.
Yes, so for marketing, so on to the fun part of this chat, 6 ways to use chatbots for marketing. So this is a generic way, a general way. No matter what industry that you're in, you could use this. How to use chatbot now. Which type of chatbot should you use? Do you want us to go into that? Because that is a whole other topic, because there's a lot of chatbots. If you do, please let us know in the comments, or just let us know in the comments. We'll be posting this, whether you would like us to dive deeper into that, because that's a lot. I cannot talk about that like in this session.
Yeah.
So for now, we'll talk about 6 ways.
Yeah, it's pretty technical when you want to integrate it with your systems. Yeah. So
yes,
if you're just getting started, then this will be ideal, just to know how to use the chatbots.
Yes, and then you could experiment with whatever that you already have. For example, if you already have WhatsApp for Business, then you could check out their chatbot. If you have Facebook for your business, then maybe you could check out their chatbot also. So 6 ways to use chatbot for marketing. Provide customer support. As we talked earlier, this is one of the main reasons. This is one of the the top three purposes for using chatbot, which is to provide customer support, all the FAQ, all the normal questions that your customers would ask. Was my order? Was my order? Where is it? How much is this price and such? So customer support, or return policies and such. So this is customer support. Next is conduct research and collect user data. So as we talked about earlier just now, there are buttons and such, right? So you could actually ask questions and you could collect the data on how your customers are, and their behavior, what they use based on the question that you ask. Next is personalized user experience. Now, if you are using Facebook chatbot, then you would already know their name, because there's already their name on Facebook. But if no, you could always ask in the first message. I'm not sure of what type of question, I mean the wording, but you could ask something like, oh, what's your name, or what would you like to be called, and then you could further use the person's name and repeat it in the conversation. So it's more personalized user experience. And also you could pull back the data that you collected from the same person that is messaging you, and you could suggest to them based on what they like. For example, if they visit your website and they are checking out your blog, then your bot could ask them, would you like to sign up for our newsletter? Or they went to your website and this visitor, because you could track them, and the visitor is scrolling through your products and checking out all your different products, then your chatbot could actually ask them, would you like to know more about our products? Would you like to know the price, but about specifically on what they use? So that's more personalized. Next is garner potential customers and increase sales. Yes, because you could also do a call to action on your chatbot. You could lead them into buying by asking the right questions and guiding them. Test or launch new products. This using chatbot is a good way to get feedback on a new product before you launch it, because it will let you know what they prefer between option. It's like what we talked about, like split testing on Facebook, right? So you could also test them, and you could also test your products, ask them questions whether which one would you prefer, what would you like. And next is receive genuine reviews about products. So through the chatbot, you could ask them, you could ask your customers their feedback, and you could make it really simple using chatbot, because they wouldn't have to type in a long or a short form paragraph, because you could even ask, do you like this product? And you could put two buttons of a thumbs up or a thumbs down, for example, or a smiley face and a super smiley face and then a sad face, and they could click on it and you could get immediate feedback, other than asking, please write a review. And then some people like me would say like, oh, that's too time consuming, I'm just going to close it then, even though probably I have some feedback. But using chatbot, it would make it easier for you to get your reviews on your products. And that is all for today. Hanis, is there anything you want to add?
Actually, yes, if you are looking to explore using chatbots in your business, this is basically about communicating and getting all your customers' feedbacks all in one dashboard, and that's what we have. We have the Zendesk, and the chatbot is part of the monthly subscription that we offer. So if you want to know more about that, you can always contact us at our Antas Solutions website to know how we can help your business in terms of gathering all the communications in one place. Also wanted to have a little update about Instagram. Instagram is actually rolling out their ability for us to upload pictures and text using desktop. So for older people like us, we don't want to type into the phone anymore. This is an option for those out there who prefer to do it on desktop. So I don't know whether it's already available in all countries, but I think they're only starting in the US tomorrow onwards.
I don't think it's just for older people, Hanis, because we hear this complaint, no, this request, especially from the photographers and professionals who edit their photos and videos and such on the desktop. They would want to upload using the desktop, terus, but then they couldn't, right? So
Yeah.
not just for older people, a lot of professions who use their who use their desktop. And yeah, and that's why, and because they couldn't, that's why there was, Adobe Lightroom for mobile,
Yeah. And
because
there are a lot
they
of
had to edit on their phones. They couldn't edit.
correct, correct.
They could, but then it'd be, a bit more tedious.
Yes. And I guess now maybe the apps that are, the scheduling apps for Instagram and all that, they might be like,
Yep.
what does that mean for us? Because it looks like Instagram and Facebook will be doing it already as part of the system. So they might be like, I don't know.
Maybe. I've tried out a few of those different scheduling apps, like Later, Buffer, HotSuite, and yeah, they have a lot to keep up fast. For example, when Instagram Reels came out, right? And
Yeah.
immediately people ask, could I schedule my Reels? Yeah, so probably, I don't know, we'll see. So interesting
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see how they'll adapt, right? You have to adapt, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it for today. Thanks again for joining us. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube as well as follow us on Antas Solutions Facebook page. We do have an Antas Solutions Facebook group. If you want to join us, you can always look out for us. It's a free group to join. It's basically to give a safe space for you to go live if you want to practice and to pitch your business to the people inside. It's a new group. So don't feel shy, and we hope to see you on the inside. All right then.
Bye.
Bye.